Continuing our topic from the first session of this series upon unscientific philosophy, we may emphasize that philosophical activity is not a collective process. Philosophers are not even able to agree on where to start philosophical work. What the concept of beginning means in general, how to work, and even how to relate their own research to the work of another philosopher. And moreover, philosophers not only do not strive for mutual understanding and unity, but are usually reluctant to notice in their own philosophy similarities with their predecessors and other philosophers. For example, when Schopenhauer was pointed out the similarity of his worldview with the concept of Spinoza, he exclaimed, "Pereant qui ante nostra dixerunt," which means, "let those who spoke before us perish." And further, philosophy cannot be divided into parts. If we combine elements of philosophical researches of various philosophers, even if we are talking about philosophers of the same period of time, or even if they are fruits of the work of the same philosopher but at different times, as for example in the works of the earlier, respectively the later Wittgenstein, then we get a complete confusion starting already with the terminology. And philosophers have a tendency to create their own individual philosophical language, so that their own concepts are not to be confused with others, that in fact to some extension are actually alien. In science, as one knows, it is not so at all. Every scientist, like an ant, drags his burden to a common never-ending mountain. Philosophy is, however, the work of dissenting and non-believing pioneers. And the entire history of philosophy testifies to the ineradicable individualism inherent in philosophy, despite the fact that philosophers are engaged in the most general thinkable thing that there is, that is the meaning of everything. So philosophy is the perspective of institutional scientific activity, is a paradox, pushing philosophers to self-forgetfulness as if it were all about one scientific research. But let us return to the mentioned philosophical why, or what for, which underlies philosophy as such. In a scientific discussion, such adverbs are appropriate when they are relating to the irrogative basis of an action, such as why, for what reason, or in connection with what. But the adverbial expression, what for, is not allowed because of its subjective nature, since it does not correspond to the fundamental imperiality of already established scientific processes. So what for marks actually the end of science and the beginning of philosophy. And the unscientific nature of philosophy challenges the deepest existential questions of human existing concerning the meaning of life. And philosophy accordingly has a soteriological core.